What is going on, guys? It is Tyson Brown here from Performance Coffees, and I'm your marketing mascot. Today's question I'm going to answer, and it's about why should you be doing plunging coffee instead of going out to buy a coffee? And it's a really good question. I mean, going out to buy a coffee, it's convenient, costs you $3, you go out and you socialize, and you just go and grab a coffee. Versus plunging a coffee, when you buy your pre-ground beans, you put some hot water in there, and then you get to mix it yourself. Well, what's the benefits? What's the downside? What should you be doing? So here's what I want to share with you guys today. The first reason I like a plunger more than going out and buy a coffee is because you don't know the serving sizes that are coming in. Have you ever had a coffee where it's just hit you really hard and you just feel like you're too jittery or you're too anxious? Because I've experienced that before. And there's other times where it just feels like there was nothing in that coffee, like you needed another one. And that's one big reason I have the dilemma with having bought coffee versus plunging my own coffee, because I can measure how much I put in each time I put into my plunged coffee. But if you can't measure, then you don't know how much is going in there. So if, let's say, like for me, I can only have 1 cup of coffee a day. If I went and had a cup of coffee from a local barista, and then the next day I changed my barista to some other cafe, and then it was just too much, it's going to ruin my whole day. I'm going to be too jittery, I'm not going to be able to focus, and it's going to make me too anxious. And so I want to avoid that, and that's why I prefer using pre-ground coffee. The second reason I like using pre-ground coffee in a plunger is because it eliminates you from distractions. If you want to get in your work zone, if you want to be there getting things done, you can either plunge your own coffee there right at home or in your office or wherever you are, or you go out, you socialize, you stand around for a little bit, you check your phone, and then you just become less productive over time. And so in order to keep that productivity high, if you stay inside your office, you have some hot water there with a kettle, and you can just plunge your coffee in your office right there, right next to you at your desk, you're saving yourself time, you're saving yourself focus, and you're going to be, like I said, have more clarity working on what you need to work towards, instead of saying, oh, it's time for another cup of coffee, I've got to go outside of the office, I've got to walk down the street, I've got to do this. And when you do that 3 or 4 times a day, just think about how many distractions you're actually getting, and think about how much lost productivity there is in that time. So having a plunger on hand is so much more easier for you to be able to just go, you know what, I need another cup of coffee, it's right here and I can grab it. Third reason, it's economically better. It's eco-friendly. The environment is way more beneficial when you're not going to be using paper cups, when you're not going to be using plastic cups, when you're going to be just doing a ground coffee, chuck it in the bin. That's a really big thing, because so many people are littering coffee cups everywhere. You look around Sydney, you look around Melbourne, there are coffee cups everywhere. So in order to avoid that, you just keep a nice ceramic cup, like you saw the blue one I had, you keep it on your desk, and you can just keep reusing that over and over and over again. And another reason is I don't like using the coffee cups either, is because when you go out and buy takeaway coffee, you know that plastic that sits on the top? That's actually bad for your health, because that's melting the plastic because of the heat. And what that's doing is that's putting polyphenols, and what that's doing is that putting plastic and BPA into your coffee, and you're drinking that. So it's really bad for your health too. That's a fun health tip. So what you guys want to think about at the end of the day is plunger versus going out to buy one. You've got different options there. And the last thing is the money. If you spend $3 on coffee a day, which is a pretty average coffee, and then you spend, maybe let's say you go and get 2 or 3 a day. Let's say that's between $6 to $9 a day. Times that by, let's say 5 days, and that's going to be, so 6 times 5, that's $30 you've just spent on coffee. Then on the weekend, you might have 1 or 2 a day, so that's another $12 each day. That's another $12 on top of that. So you spend about $40 to $50 on coffee if you're being conservative on the meantime. Or you could spend a $30 to $40 bag of coffee that's going to last you a month. So you've really got to think about that too. Do you really want to be spending your money on something as simple as coffee? Or you could be using that as a better source of coffee and then having more money left over to go and do the things you enjoy. So they're the reasons I enjoy the plunger and using it. It's way more beneficial for you. Let's go over it really quickly. Number 1, time saver. It's going to help you be productive. It's going to help you save time. Number 2 is that it's going to save you from the health. You're not going to have the plastic melting into your cup. Number 3 is that it's better for the environment. Number 4 is that you're going to be able to save money too. So you've got those big key things that you can take away and say, you know what, let's give the plunger a try. Let's save some money. Let's save myself some productivity, and let me get focused at work. I'm Tyson Brown from Performance Coffees, and I am your marketing mascot. See you next time.